Twitter has to be one of the worst places to go to. I mean, I swear, you don't go there to be happy. You go there to be depressed. I mean, if Dante's Inferno ever got an extra ring, it would probably be Twitter. From calling an artist a racist because it didn't make the Enderman black, getting mad at people for not being hyper-focused on politics, and people not understanding what healthy relationships are. But I'm pretty sure most of you know what Twitter is very well known for. People having the worst hot takes known to man. Saying these are hot takes would be the biggest understatement of the century. Actually calling them hot takes would be an insult to hot takes. More like lectures that are trying to desperately try and sound smart as they can, even though the argument in question is much more well put together than Aspire on crack cocaine. And this take is no different. This individual goes by the name of HalosonHorns, making a repost tweet about one of his previous posts. And before someone try and say, well, Jay, it's 1 year ago, why does it matter? Well, buddy, he reposted this a couple of days ago. 1 year, 1 month, or 1 day, it doesn't matter. A bad take is a bad take, regardless of how old the hot topic in question may be. Now let's dive into this video. And to make it a little bit entertaining, I'm going to voice most of the screenshots by yours truly. Yes, I truly had to infect myself with cringe just to make this entertaining. You're welcome. But before we begin, get an eye full of those tags. It's gonna become absolutely ironic by the end of this video. So I'm still getting word that people are generally having an issue with me being depicted as a the wizard, and really don't get what's the problem. I love being a wizard. Why are you mad that I killed these filthy villains, monsters, in a short story where you fully are aware that I'm a fictional character that doesn't even exist? Look how they treat me here. I'm the victim. I'm not even going to bother reading that. This is the most obvious straw man I've ever seen in my life. If it ain't clearly obvious of what we're going to be reacting to today, this is what most would call a strawman comic. Examples being Andrew Dobson and Anonymous Asexual. But to be honest, they make those two look like comedy geniuses. You'll get what I mean as we go through this video. You know, the types of comments that say, I'm smart and they're stupid. I'll hope you have some amount of outrage when every artist, writer, director, creator, etc. I'm not even going to bother reading this. I'm pretty sure you all know where this is going by now. You're telling me that every artist and creator are glorifying acts of violence shown as a concept in a fictional setting? Would you have the same much concern if the weapon of choice and the setting was different when so many other characters do worse on a greater scale? Ugh. This is a serial killer. I'm Killer Cam. They're glorifying serial killers in their movie. Cancel him! Oh wait, you're saying it's different because they have cool designs and they have that voice that you like? This right here is where the tism really begins. First off, those are not the only reason why people like them. Homelander is meant to be the shining example and the main theme of The Boys, which is what happens when you give regular people superpowers. Thanos, being a man who wanted to cleanse the universe by practically using the equivalents of eugenics. And let's say they do like him because of those reasons. What's the problem? As long as they're not trying to replicate this in real time, they're perfectly fine to like the villains. So where's the issue here? Oh, I know the reason why. You're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Or is it the part where you said you related to them or have similar traits? They're just like me for real. Weird, but okay. This is misconstrued at best and absolutely uncharitable at worst. You do realize that people use that phrase as a joke most of the time. You do realize that, right? But I highly doubt you ever hanged out with other people outside your circle or your bubble, whatever you like to call it. And the assumptions get worse from here. Right, you said you would sexualize them because you find them attractive, or would let them assault you if they were real. I wonder why. Garbage subtlety aside, that is not everyone. I like how this is the first result that you come to. Couldn't be because of any other reason. And I like how you just simply boiled it down to the sexual reasons. It couldn't be because of their motives, their cool powers, their backstory, their lore in general. Nah, it's only because they agree with their villainy. So already we're off to a retarded start. But don't worry, it gets worse. But oh, you said it's only because they don't exist. So it's okay for you to admire these characters the way you do, knowing exactly what they're capable of. Okay. Wow, you're sounding so profound. Do you want a cookie or something? Since you're so profound, I found a little piece of metal. It's called the Nobel Retard Prize. Do you want it? Y'all really pick and choose between unrealistic evils, but always have a limit between realistic scenarios and behavior being shown in a certain way that doesn't sit right with you. Ironic, isn't it?
Jesus fucking Christ! I didn't know they allowed retards into Schaefer.
Well, dingus for brains, have you ever tried asking people why they enjoyed these villains? I highly doubt it, because then it would go against your peace. You are way too busy trying to lecture people instead of actually having a genuine conversation. And just to make my own assumption, I'm starting to get a good idea on why people don't like you. Oh, but what's the matter? I thought you guys liked dark humor and graphic themes. But now it's going too far, all because you say so? Where is the logic in that part, huh? I don't know, buddy. Could it be the fact that you're talking down to people like absolute idiots and having one-sided arguments that only benefits yours? Or it could be that the comic in question that you created just had poor execution. I don't know, buddy. Just an observation. It's funny to see what violent people are desensitized by until something happens to you. Suddenly, the need to take it seriously like you actually care. It's funny, isn't it? Unless real-life people are being sliced into pieces, this is a non-issue. You're just whining for the sake of whining at this point. And this is where the lecturing gets cranked up to 11. Knowing that, keep in mind, these villains are either going to take your life or your innocence. So let's stay aware of that.
Well, no fucking shit.
Also, let female villains be villains without being horny or sexualizing them. You cannot fix her, and she's not your mommy.
No, nigga.
Number 1, you can practically say the same thing on the other aisle. Number 2, have you not seen the My Hero Academia fandom before? Try telling that to fans who like Dobby, Toga. Matter of fact, try telling that to the people who like the Villain League in general. But I highly doubt you want that conversation, considering that you blocked off your comment section. So it already shows to everyone else that you didn't want a conversation. You just wanted to lecture everyone, trying to sound smarter than everyone, when your intelligence level is the equivalent of a rusted potato. Highly anyone wanted you to talk about this. I can guarantee you that. You're not that special. Reminder, not every villain is meant to be adored, loved, or redeemable. They're bad for a reason, as their personalities and actions show that. Magic is real.
You're a fucking idiot.
So let villains be villains. They're meant to be that way for the protagonist, so let them be chaotic, destructive, and dangerous, unhinged too. Bad is good. I want you to put a pin in that statement, because it's going to become absolutely ironic by the end of this video. All I can say is just pay attention to the dialogue, because it becomes very important for the next post I'm going to read. And don't forget, do your research if you want more information on traits, mannerisms, for more accurate details to avoid being insensitive or demonizing or glorifying serious topics that you want to use in your story.
Shit, shut your ass up.
Or how about you get off of Twitter and grow some brain cells? You are clearly not the smartest one in the room. You're not smart. You're not special. You suck at making points, so why are you even making this? And like all these types of people that I've reacted to up to this point, they have yet to show any evidence whatsoever. So no, how about you take your own advice and stop being such a lecturing, pretentious prick? Dory, I mean, after all, it's just fiction. Get a grip on reality. Congratulations, you achieved nothing. Here's your Nobel Retard Prize. Make sure the door hits you on your way out. But Jay, he was just trying to speak on his opinion. Yeah, no, there's a difference between having an opinion and then trying to be a lecturing prick. This is being a lecturing prick. On top of that, just making mass generalizations with no evidence whatsoever, like I said before. He just seemed like he just wanted to have the sound of his own voice without anyone ever criticizing him for it. And his closed off comments shows that. But Jay, what if he can't handle criticism all that well? Well, buddy, if you didn't want to get criticized, here's two ideas. Either A, present your subject matter way more better, or don't say anything at all. Keep your lips closed if you do not want to face any repercussions. But the part that gets under my skin the most is the amount of pretentiousness that comes off of him. Because the more I read these tweets, the more it starts to feel like he's whining because his comic didn't receive good reception. I don't know, buddy. Maybe try not being a pretentious prick when it comes to these types of subjects. Try making arguments without using mass generalizations. Or, my favorite one, try actually presenting stuff with real evidence. Because it doesn't give you a good look. It starts to look like someone who just wants to be praised because they presented a serious subject matter without putting any thought into it. I can go on, but I'm pretty sure you get what I mean. Anyway, that's the end of my video for today. See you later and catch you on the flip side. Is what I would be saying if it wasn't for the fact that I know exactly who this is.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy.
So for this section, we're going to have to go all the way back to 2023. Remember that one screenshot that I showed you early on in this video? Well, all of it is going to come back full circle once we start reading these screenshots. And oh boy, are they a special treat. But before we begin, I'd like to give a little shout out to my friend for providing these screenshots. Thank you. I might try and pay you back for this one. And for quick clarification, this is on Instagram, not Twitter. You know, just to make it less sucky. And for clarification, this is the same person. And before anyone try and say, well, how are you sure? Well, for starters, the signatures are practically the same. And on his return post on Twitter, his avatar is pretty much identical to his previous one. But the biggest giveaway was how he showed his screenshots. So it didn't take me too long to figure out who this was. I just didn't remember their names. When this Instagram post was made, he went by the name of Asher Zero or Ashiro, however you call it. Anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. And it's still going to be voiced by yours truly. Be lucky that I'm suffering for you. If you didn't know, you can Google name X name and you see NSFW, art, and fanfiction of said characters.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't think that's how a search engine works. The only way you would find that type of stuff is if you were actively looking for it. So, do you got something to share for the class? Now, ask yourself, why are these fandoms that are so disliked? It trails back to their obnoxious fandom of weird-ass fanboys and fangirls and the pro shippers. Those are the exception, not the majority. Already, we're off to another retarded start. And besides, there are a lot of fandoms that basically get deemed annoying, and this is without having shipping. Examples being Evangelion, Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto. I can go on, but I'm pretty sure you get what I mean by this. But you know what? Maybe I'm just born with a small walnut brain. So let's hear these legendary words of knowledge, shall we? Fantastic. People will ship any duo, trio, group, team, or rivalry, regardless of canonical hints of romantic and sexual attraction. Holy cow, guys, it's finally learning. Maybe this won't be a bad take after all. Now, there is no issue with kids, minors, being shipped respectively. My issue is that people over-sexualize them in their fan arts or fanfiction, and then defend it by saying it's fiction. Why does it matter? Etc. Because they're not flesh and blood human beings. They're lines on a screen. I know, such a shocking answer, but it's literally the truth. It's nothing but lines on a screen. Unless you can say that most of these characters are based on recognizable flesh and blood human beings, this argument does not hold any water. Do you see the problem here? It's not that it's... Bro, just say gay and lesbian. The thing is that they're all kids, and I don't care if you're a minor too. You shouldn't be romanticizing them or sexualizing them. You wouldn't want people in IRL to try and sexualize your family and friends unprovoked. Except for the fact that those people are actually flesh and blood human beings. Drawings art. Unless somehow in some way you can prove that this can correlate to reality, this is a nothing burger statement. Again, this is not proving anything. The parental guardian, ex-child, crush ship, and any adult ex-child ships are sick. What's wrong with having quality family time with each other? But seriously though, if you really don't like what's on screen, here's an idea. Either A, use the block button, or scroll away. Yeah, that's what a regular person would do. When I say I don't like enemies being shipped, I don't mean enemies to lovers trope. You dumbass rock. I mean literal murderers and abusive villains that hate the protagonist and are also abused ex-abusers of a huge... I am slowly turning dyslexic because of this screenshot.
Calling people daddy is gross. Stop kink shaming me. Kink shaming is my kink.
Also, who died and made you the god of the new world? You're a nobody, just like the rest of us. Stop trying to act like you're better than everyone else, and stop acting like you can control what other people can do. Any character ex-creature ship? Jail time. Oh, he definitely wouldn't survive in the Pokemon fandom, Monster Hunter fandom, especially the Digimon fandom. Because I gotta say, they do love the monsters. They're fictional. They're not harming anyone, so why does it matter? Let people have fun. But they do it with real life people too. It's called parasocial shipping.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
That is the exception, not the majority. Once more, you are generalizing with no proof to back it up. I mean, seriously, who could just sit through this whole entire post and not want to rip their hair out because of this amount of condescending behavior? And also on that parasocial relationship shipping, that is not pro-ship. That is actual criminal behavior. And it's like I said before, these are flesh and blood human beings, not fictional characters. This is starting to come off as you trying to grasp straws just to make yourself look smart. This whole entire post comes off as, I don't like it, so you should stop because I feel uncomfortable. Hate to break it to you, but the world does not revolve around you. Piss off. For the bro, just say Bakugo x Deku, bro. I support Bakugo and the close relationship with Deku, and they're not lovers. Please stop romanticizing and sexualizing minors with your weird ass think pieces.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You have no room to talk about think pieces considering that later on in 2024, you made a terrible comic about school shootings. Oh, if you thought I was already being agitated, this next screenshot is going to make my blood boil to the highest degree. If I haven't mentioned specific issues, don't bitch about it in my comments. Instead, be useful. Make outposts to help spread awareness. Only if you're not scared to do it. Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Is this some kind of twisted joke?
This is why I absolutely hate Halo on Horns. He, throughout this post, telling people what to do, what not to do, what to do, what not to do, over and over and over again, with no proof to back it up. He literally generalized people with no type of proof whatsoever, and then called it a day. And this is without going into a smug attitude that he shares throughout his posts in 2024 and even here. Because it shows to me that he didn't care to have a conversation. He just wanted a circle jerk that told him that he was right 100% with no type of pushback whatsoever. I have little respect for people who think they're mightier than the sun and could tell people what to do. And before you try and say, but OJ, he was just sharing his opinion, there's no need to be rude. If he had no intention to be respectful himself, why should I? This right here is the definition of insanity. Repeating the same points over and over and over again, thinking it actually makes you right. Let's just end this already before I pop a blood vessel. In reality, majority of these people will never change, but they're still obnoxious weirdos to me, so thank you for the engagement. Take care of your mental health before you argue with me. You have more issues to worry about than being an online loser. And this is someone who needs to take their own advice. Anyway, I'm done with this video. But don't worry, HalosonHorns, I have the perfect spot for your opinion.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Have a nice day and catch you on the flip side. Now, please excuse me, I have some Pokemon to admire.